An airplane on jacks, folks. Not very exciting. Welcome back, everyone. Here's another opportunity for you to learn something from my financial misfortunes. Were we safe? Yes. Did we learn things? Yes. Am I about to pass those things on to you? Absolutely. That's what you came for. Just remember, we went up to Oshkosh, we flew this beautiful Beechcraft Bonanza and camped at Fond du Lac. Had a great time, met some cool people like this. Right? You might recognize some of these folks. We're gonna go talk to them and see what's up. So the guy actually made it. You know, he talks a big game online, but like he's actually standing here at Oshkosh. This is not CGI. This is real.
Just don't show the belly of the airplane.
No oil leaks on this airplane.
Come on the podcast, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna have some podcast stuff going on. The ground shakes beneath his feet when he arrives. His name is Ben. Oh wait, no, that's just the F35. Never mind. But as we know, all good things must come to an end. We packed up, hopped in the airplane, and started heading back towards Savannah, Georgia. I knew it would be a long flight, so I planned to stop in Knoxville, Tennessee, where there is typically good food, really good people, and an airport that's called Downtown Island. That's just 10 minutes away from the middle of the city. So we flew in that direction, everything went well, weather held up just fine, landed just after a mega storm had passed through Knoxville, and shut down the airplane, called it a night. Could we have kept going? Yes. Would it have been the safe thing to do? No. Next question. Let's keep moving and talk about what we did the next morning. Well, good morning. We survived the night in a very comfortable hotel. Made the ultimate safety decision to stop flying and just put the airplane down until today. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. Got to climb over some 6,000 foot mountains just to the south of Knoxville, and after that should be pretty smooth sailing to Savannah for about a 2-hour flight. Well, more like 1:45 from here into Savannah. So just wanted to give you guys that update. Airplane is pre-flighted. We filled up gas. Didn't need to fill up. Gas is actually pretty expensive here, but I just wanted to fly comfortably and not have to think about fuel, because there's other things that I need to think about. Yep, other things indeed. So we took off from Knoxville, climbed as high as we could, and then shook our heads just like this, because I'm going to show you something. I want you to try to guess why these numbers don't make any sense. I've got a ground speed of 115 knots on my way to Savannah. The engine is at 2,500 RPM and about 21 or 22 inches of manifold pressure. Those performance numbers do not sound good for an airplane like this, right? That's right. Something's wrong. Did you guess it? 3, 2, 1. Landing gear. I tried to raise the landing gear after takeoff, and the gear would not retract. The gear motor had completely gone on my way to Savannah with a climb that I had to execute over super tall mountains. Great. Well, we won't panic because we've got some tools to help us get through something exactly like this, and that's what I'm doing here in this video. Opening up the AFM, scrolling to the emergency section, and figuring out exactly what I need to do in case of a gear that won't work. We also want to do the work to figure out whether it's legal to fly the airplane in this configuration, which thankfully enough, the limitations section of this airplane lists that your landing gear could be in-op in order to get you to a place where you need to go to get maintenance done on the airplane, which for us is home. Is that enough of a lesson for today? No, it's not. Let's keep going. Right about now, it's time for some critical thinking, brought to you by November 8636 Mike. What we're going to do is think about the impacts of what is happening here with our gear. We know we've got tons of extra drag, so we won't go as fast, but we also can't climb as well. So I had to make it over some mountains. I gave myself extra space to ensure that I can climb. I flew east to west to climb close to the airport before heading towards the mountains so I wouldn't put myself in a difficult position. The other thing to think about here are temperatures,
because the engine cowling is now not acting as efficiently with the landing gear doors open. So the only thing I noticed on my climb was that my oil temperatures were a little elevated from where they usually are. I usually run a little bit cooler, so my range was just fine. But we kept close eyes on oil temperature and all the cylinder head temperatures. We listened out for any clunking or banging. We also took the time to sample the flight characteristics of the airplane once we were above about 3,000 or 4,000 feet AGL, just to be sure that we'd be comfortable flying the airplane for an hour or two back to Savannah. Here I am running the checklist for a failed gear motor, ensuring that the gear is all the way cranked down. That's why I'm reaching behind me where the gear crank is, looking at my gear lights and my indicator on the floor, and just running a quick sanity check to ensure that we'd be good for landing. And everything was okay. We landed in Savannah, shut the airplane down, and quickly mailed our gear motor off to Kevn O'Halloran. So that unit down there that I'm pointing at is the gear motor, and there's some wires that run to it and connect to the dynamic brake relay. So just getting some video right now of how that wire is routed, because we're gonna want to clip some of it. Now let me tell you something about Kevn. I have no idea who he is. I want to meet him in person at some point, but the entire Beechcraft community says that he makes you feel like this, a beautiful sunset with his types of services and his customer support. I mailed the gear motor off to him on a Saturday, he got it on a Monday, and shipped it out on a Wednesday. How amazing is that? He even sent me text messages along the way and gave me an update video like this.
Test of Joanza's gear motor after rework. We're going to be testing for speed, torque, dynamic brake. It'll be lifting 200 pounds of dead weight. We'll have 13.8 volts on the system. Okay, let's go up, see how she does. Perfect on that. Now we'll go down and see if the dynamic brake will stop all that weight. That's good. Okay, I'm going to do a hot test, a cold test. We'll finish up the paint, put on new terminal ends. It'll be boxed with the old parts and an install kit, and it'll be going out tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday.
This is a box of spinner parts. This is a landing gear motor for this, a Beechcraft Bonanza. And you know what the two of these things have in common? Absolutely nothing, except I'm spending all of my money buying these things to ensure that this thing is safe. In the meantime, I cannot feed my family. Do you see the problem here? Me neither. Welcome back. So today, with the help of an AMPIA, let's shut this off for a second. I'm gonna reinstall a landing gear motor right down there. Right there. I've cleaned out all the old grease because that is a job for someone like me, not someone who has a background doing airplane stuff professionally. We will simply wait for the mechanic to show up. His car is not here yet, to go ahead and do the reassembly work and inspect the area while we got this all torn apart. Catch you in a little bit. In 3, 2, 1. There comes some feet. There he is. Proof that there is legalities afoot. Hello. I was legitimately just saying I am at the stopping point before I need you to take a look at what we're about to do. So that was excellent timing. Excellent. Yeah, there you go. There it is. So when you get one of these back from Kevn, it comes beautifully packaged. Looks brand new in the packaging that I have. It's tagged. It's got manuals, it's got the old parts that he removed from your old unit. It's got zip ties, Tygon tubing for insulation. So, nice job packaging this thing up. And we're gonna get that down in there. Follow the instructions that came in the package, and we should be good to go. Okay, this might be a little difficult to see, but there's a washer that Kevin sent me that I put on the idler gear right there. And there's a hole right there with another set of gears. This is gonna go right in there and interface with the small gear that's in the landing gear motor itself. That looks like it's free to float. So we're looking good. The wiring is already done up. Kevin crimps these new handshake connectors on. That ring terminal is on there for ground. The instructions are right here. And I've also got a copy of the shop manual that shows this part of the job. But I'm getting this part ready so that my A&P can witness the installation and feel happy to sign it off once the work is all done. So we'll be patient with that. But yeah, I got the washer in place. Interesting story. When I sent this to Kevin for overhaul, it was missing the washer on the idler gear. And he was nice enough to just send me a new one. So really appreciate that. I don't know if that's a part of why it failed prematurely, but we now have the washer on the landing gear motor side of the assembly, which is a part of the instructions anyway. So we're gonna put a glob of grease, new grease. We've cleaned out the old grease from the landing gear transmission, and we're gonna get that tidied back up, get the airplane reassembled, jack it up, do a gear swing, and hopefully we'll be done with this job. Okay, situation update. It's hot. You can tell by the look on my face. But the airplane is a lot taller now, as in it's above my head, and I'm about 6'5" or 6'6". That's because we've jacked up the airplane, made sure that the landing gear is gonna be free if it swings, and we're gonna do a gear swing, just a normal gear swing, something similar to what you'd do on an annual on a retractable gear airplane. Have I ever mentioned that if you had the choice between fixed gear and retractable gear, you should just go fixed gear? Insurance is cheaper, maintenance is a lot cheaper. You don't have to do stuff like this. So the gear is off the ground. We've got two jacks in place. The tail is tied down, and we have a weight on the back of the tail to help it stay in place. The jack points on this airplane are so close to the center of the airplane. They're right here. So it's so close to the wing root that it doesn't give it a whole bunch of directional stability. So if you push on the airplane, it rocks, it kind of sways. And luckily I've got an incredibly long arm span that I can reach through the window and toggle the gear there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have eyes outside as I click the master switch on and off. Just bump it, bump it, bump it, and watch the gear come up slowly. The reason we want to do it slowly is because the inner gear doors on the inside here open up, and that jack could potentially get in the way. That would be an expensive mistake. An airplane on jacks, folks. Not very exciting. But what we're about to do is I'm going to switch on the master and see the battery master and see if the gear tries to come up. Because if it does, we have a problem because the handle is in the down position. So that means we've wired the motor backwards. So we're going to test to make sure that it's hooked up the right way. So the master comes on. If the gear moves, we're in trouble. And just so happens that I can stand right here, reach into the airplane, and go master on. Okay, gear doesn't move. My rotating beacon is going and making noise, which kind of scared me for a second, but okay, we're looking good. Battery master is off. That was a successful first test. Now we have to reach in the airplane, put the gear up, and then go on, off, see what it does. Man, do this stuff for you guys. Yeah, so I could totally step onto the airplane. It's that solid. I'm sure I could do that. But I'm really heavy and I can shift things around just with the power of my voice and the power of my weight. So taking an extra conservative step to stick her hand in there and see what it does. And of course now it's raining, so I've got to move this, and this is taking extra time, but I'm doing this for you guys. And I'm waiting for someone to come help me look at the airplane while the gear is moving. So we've got time. What's on your mind? You been flying lately? What's the weather been like in your part of the woods? Because it has been pretty bad here. Thunderstorms every single day, rain all day. It's almost as if someone doesn't want us to do airplane stuff. But we do it anyway, because there's always something to be done on an airplane. I'm having to stand on a step stool right now to reach up into the airplane because it's jacked up. And the airplane was also, it's really tall. It's a tall airplane. And so naturally, in order for me to reach it, I'd have to do this anyway. But today, I've really got to do it because I got to reach in here and grab the gear lever. Okay, we've bumped the master on, and we can see that the inner gear door has started to open. The wheels haven't started moving yet because the doors aren't all the way out. And so the mechanism on the inside of the airplane will do those first, then the swinging up action, and then the doors will close. What I'm going to do is walk around the airplane to be sure that this gear door will clear this jack right here. Really, really tight fit. And I think it will just clear that jack. We did this at the annual, and I kind of remember the orientation for the jack stands. And so with someone watching, I'm gonna bump it again, but I gotta wait. The guy I have helping me had to step away for a second, so just doing what I gotta do here. Okay, so we've bumped it a couple times, and you can see the gear door is opening. This is usually closed right here, but it is slowly but surely opening. That gives us a chance to look up there. I'm gonna get a flashlight, look at control cables, look at structure. This is not a part of the inspection, but I'm the owner of this airplane and a private pilot, so I can take a look at this stuff. And here, switch is right here. Gear doors are here. Now the gear has started moving. Let's check our clearance. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. No weird gaps, no bulging. Nose gear door is all the way up. Cool. We're gonna try retracting the gear now. I got my cameras rolling. You will note that the wheels are back down on the ground and the airplane does not have any damage. So mission accomplished. Gear swings and checks good. Kevin, fantastic job. Really fast turnaround. I think I shipped this thing out on Saturday of last week, and today's Saturday, and I got the package in the mail today. So removal was about 30 minutes, installation was about 30 minutes, and then the gear swing, as long as that takes. But then on top of that, you've got the interior that's removed, the seats that are removed, and a couple trim pieces that are removed. So we will put those back in some other day. I am tired. Ignore that little project that's going on there. And we'll talk about the spinner on different video. Old airplane, but very nice airplane. Love my airplane. I just need it to save me enough money to pay for dinner because I am hungry and I'm hot and tired. So we will catch you all next time.